Have you ever scrolled through someone else's life and felt like yours was somehow less? Like everyone else got the manual on how to be confident, successful, put together, and you somehow missed it? Maybe you looked at a friend's promotion, a stranger's vacation photos, a colleague's seemingly perfect relationship, and in that quiet moment, a small voice whispered, "You're not doing enough. You're not enough." If that sounds familiar, I want you to know two things right now. First, you are not alone in feeling this way. And second, there is a way out of this cycle, and it doesn't require becoming someone you're not. Today, I'm going to share 5 powerful mindset shifts that can help you break free from the trap of comparison and start seeing your own worth clearly again. Stay with me, because the last one might just change how you see yourself forever. Here's the first shift. Your life is not on someone else's schedule. We live in a world that loves timelines. Graduate by 22. Get the career by 25. Buy the house by 30. Settle down. Figure it all out. Have it together. And if you haven't, well, the quiet implication is that you're falling behind. But think about this. An oak tree doesn't grow at the same pace as a bamboo. And nobody looks at an oak and says, "Why aren't you growing as fast as the bamboo?" That would be ridiculous. Every living thing has its own rhythm, its own season, its own pace of becoming. You are no different. The timing of your growth, your breakthroughs, your moments of clarity, they don't have to match anyone else's. Maybe you bloom at 30. Maybe you bloom at 50. Maybe your greatest chapter hasn't even started yet. And that's not a delay. That's your timeline unfolding exactly as it should. So the next time you feel like you're behind, remind yourself, you're not late. You're just on your own clock. The second shift is about who you're measuring yourself against. Every time you catch yourself comparing your life to someone else's, I want you to pause and redirect that attention somewhere it actually matters. Your own progress. Think about where you were a year ago, 5 years ago. Think about the things that used to terrify you that you now handle without a second thought. Think about the conversations you couldn't have, the boundaries you couldn't set, the mornings you couldn't even get out of bed. And yet, here you are. That is real growth. And it deserves to be seen by you. The problem with comparing yourself to others is that you're never seeing the full picture. You're comparing your messy, complicated, behind-the-scenes reality to their curated, edited, polished presentation. It's like comparing a rough draft to a published novel. Of course, theirs looks better. You're not seeing the 10,000 drafts they threw away. Real growth is quiet. It doesn't always post about itself. It doesn't always look impressive from the outside. But when you measure yourself against who you used to be, not who someone else appears to be, you start to realize how far you've actually come. The third shift is one of the most practical things you can do, and it's deceptively simple. Write it down. Take a piece of paper, right now if you can, and write 3 things. First, your abilities. The things you can do that you're proud of, even the small ones. Maybe you're a great listener. Maybe you're resourceful. Maybe you can stay calm in a crisis. Write it down. Second, your good qualities. Are you kind? Are you loyal? Are you the person people call when they need someone who won't judge them? Write that down too. And third, this one's important. The hardships you've survived. The nights you didn't think you'd make it through, but you did. The losses, the rejections, the failures that nearly broke you. And yet, here you are, still standing, still trying. Keep this list somewhere you can see it. On your nightstand, in your phone, taped to your mirror. Because here's what happens. In those moments when the voice of inadequacy gets loud, and it will get loud, you won't be able to think clearly. Your mind will convince you that you have nothing to offer, that you've never overcome anything, that you're starting from zero. And in that moment, you won't need motivation. You'll need evidence. This list is your evidence. It's your proof that you are so much more than the version of yourself that shows up in your weakest moments. The fourth shift is about the world you choose to look at every day. Spend less time watching the seemingly perfect lives of other people. I know that's easier said than done. These platforms are literally designed to keep you scrolling. But here's the truth that most people don't want to admit. So much of what you see is an edited version of reality, not the whole truth. That perfect couple, you don't see the arguments. That flawless career, you don't see the anxiety. That beautiful home, you don't see the debt. People share what they want you to see, and they hide the rest. And that's not dishonesty. It's human nature. We all do it. But when you consume these highlight reels day after day, your brain starts to believe that this is what normal looks like. And suddenly, your real, imperfect, beautifully messy life feels like it's falling short, when in reality, it's just real. So be intentional about what you let in. Mute, unfollow, or limit the content that makes you feel less. Not because those people are bad, but because your peace of mind is more important than their aesthetics. The fifth and perhaps most important shift is this. Be as kind to yourself as you would be to someone you love. Think about the last time a friend came to you feeling inadequate, feeling like they weren't enough. What did you say to them? You probably didn't say, "Yeah, you're right. You're not good enough." No. You were patient. You were supportive. You reminded them of their worth. You held space for them until they could hold it for themselves. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you treated yourself that way? We are often our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards, speaking to ourselves in ways we'd never speak to someone we love, and withholding the very compassion we so freely give to others. But here's the thing. You deserve that same compassion. You deserve support, patience, and love, not after you achieve something, not after you prove yourself, but right now, exactly as you are, because you are already worthy of it. I want to leave you with one final thought. Next time you see a garden, look at the flowers. Notice something remarkable. They don't compete with each other. The rose doesn't try to be a sunflower. The lily doesn't look at the tulip and feel less beautiful. Each one simply blooms in its own time, in its own way. And the garden is more beautiful because of their differences. You don't have to be like anyone else to be valuable. You don't need to match someone else's pace, copy someone else's path, or prove yourself against someone else's standards. You just need to live as your authentic self and let yourself bloom when it's your season, because flowers don't compete. They just bloom, and so will you.